What up, everyone? This is Adam Quiney. And what I want to talk about tonight is this concept of fearlessness. People talk a lot about fearlessness. People talk a lot about their fear. You might have noticed that if you're a coach, or even if you're just in the world, you might have noticed that people really have a tendency to want to talk about their fear. And as humans, we like to analyze it and assess it and pull it apart and like, oh, isn't that interesting? I wonder why I feel that way. Why am I so afraid to? We ask that question, why, a lot. And it kind of holds us stuck into place. I don't really want to discuss that so much, although that's a great topic for another video. Instead, I want to talk about this idea of fearlessness. People sometimes that I meet in my travels and my work will come forward. I'll ask them, hey, what's your fear? And I ask them because behind our fear lies our greatest desires. That's almost always the way it is. And some people, when I ask that question, they say, oh, Adam, I don't have any fear. There's nothing that I'm afraid of. And that's always an interesting place to start from. It's possible. People could have been lobotomized or, had some sort of trauma where they just had that part of their brain removed. But fear is an essential aspect of our emotional state. It's a essential component of being a fully expressed human. And the other thing that tends to be true when people have no fear is that they're playing a very small game. It might look kind of like a bigger game. It might look like on the outside they're up to something that's pretty impressive. They might have even wowed or awed their friends into sort of collaborating, colluding with them and holding like, wow, that person's up to big stuff. But typically when people don't have any fear, it's because they've shrunk their world down to something manageable and contained and controllable. And that's really what we're left with when we don't have any fear in our lives. I've heard Tony Robbins say that your quality of life is I'll probably get it wrong, but he's something to the effect of your quality of life is directly proportional to your ability to be with the unknown, your ability to be with that which is outside of your control. And it's scary to be outside of our control. It's scary to be outside of our comfort zone. And if you're listening to this thinking, well, I'm always outside my comfort zone and I still don't have any fear, trust me, you're not outside your comfort zone. It's really that simple. It's part of the nature of our comfort zone, and fear is that it's scary to be outside of what we know, to be there naked, standing there, unsure of what's going to come. That's part of what fear is about, is, hey, I don't know what's coming down the pipeline. Am I going to be able to deal with it? What if I can't? What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have the worth or the value or the strength or the skills or whatever? So what I really want to invite you to do, if you're listening to this video thinking, what do I do with that? Or even if you're not, I'll invite you anyhow, is to actually step beyond that, to take a look at the areas of your life where there's no fear anymore, where it's just completely, there's nothing that scares you, it's all hunky-dory, it's fine and dandy. And I would invite you to take a look and ask yourself, hey, what would I need to take on or step into? What is a bigger game I could be playing in that area that would actually generate a bit of fear? People that play really big games are familiar with fear. They have relationships with their fear. They are aware and very familiar with that sensation that we get as humans. And it's part of living a really rich, full life, is a willingness to be with fear and to have a life that includes that as part of it. Much love. Thanks for tuning in.